Now, we talked about this new character who I hadn't heard of until last week, this guy, Rabbi Lapin, or Lapin. We talked about him on the show last week. He was on Glenn Beck's program, I think. And he said so many ridiculous things. He just lined up the ridiculous anti-gay arguments back to back with the ridiculous right-wing economic arguments. And he has this accent where he could fool you into thinking he's a smart person, like Stuart Varney on Fox Business Network. If you know nothing else about him, the first few sentences you might be like, oh, that's a smart guy. But then the second you actually hear what he's saying, you go, oh my God, this guy is a fucking moron. Same thing with this guy, Rabbi Lapin or whatever. So he got together with the brilliant mind of Pat Robertson, and they just had a circle jerk of nonsensical points.
What is the modern state doing to violate God's principles and destroying itself in the process? What are they doing?
You have an hour or two to spend on that?
Well, let's make believe you're Adam Smith and you wrote your book in 2 pages. What?
A number of things. One of them, of course, is increasing the size of government and increasing taxation. Essentially, that turns people into slaves. Ultimately, the Marxist vision is slavery. You work for us, you give everything to us, and we take care of everything. We take care of your children's education, we take care of your retirement, we take care of your health care. Oh, wait a sec, we're already there.
I don't even know where to begin. In less than a minute, he managed to make every single comment out of his mouth total bullshit. So first of all, oh, how gross, man. How nasty. Oh, paying for kids' education and paying for their health care? Yuck, disgusting. Why can't I pay for that myself and make it a healthy profit margin so that the insurance companies can rape me in the ass? I want to give all my money to these ridiculous, unnecessary middlemen. Yeah, I want to give my money to private schools which give a worse education for more money. Like, what are you arguing for? You're arguing for no more public schools? We shouldn't have any more public schools? Tax dollars shouldn't pay for school? Tax dollars shouldn't pay for health care? So no more Medicare either. Sorry, old people, you're done. No health coverage for you. Guess what? The private insurance companies don't want the old people either. Why? Because they cost a fuckload of money. So what are we going to do? Just throw them out on the street? Sorry, you're on your own. You know, go to CVS, go get a Band-Aid. Suck it up. Suck it up, Grandpa. I mean, okay, so right off the bat, he's silly. This idea that, you know, any form of government is tyranny and overreach. No, every single modern nation in the world has a mix between government, which is socialism, and capitalism. They're all mixed, but he's like just slamming the government idea of it. All right, second of all, Marxism? Okay, who's a Marxist in today's day and age? There's roughly -7 Marxists left in America, okay? And, of course, in his mind, well, all the Democrats are Marxists. The Democrats aren't even liberals. Are you kidding me? President Obama, a Marxist? Which leads to the third point. He said, oh, there's a taxation increase and an increase in the size of government. Wrong. Factually incorrect. We can prove it to you. Under the Obama administration, he's cut over 700,000 government jobs since he's been in office. Okay? He lowered the deficit. He cut the deficit in half, actually more than that. So he's doing all the things that the Republicans say that they like to do. You know, lowering the deficit. He made 95% of the Bush tax cuts permanent. Okay? He didn't increase taxes. That's just a flat-out falsehood. He did not increase taxes. And increasing the size of government. Did you know that 90% of the economy under George W. Bush, 90% of the jobs, I should say, are private jobs provided by either small business or big business. 90% under George W. Bush. What is that under President Obama? Well, obviously, if this guy's right, then government is exploding, then what is it? Is half the economy now, half the jobs are provided by the government now when it used to be 10%? Wrong. 91% of the jobs today are provided by the private sector. So in other words, there is a bigger private sector, more capitalism under Obama than under George W. Bush. And that, again, that's shown in the numbers as well. Over 8 million private sector jobs created under Barack Obama. Cut government jobs, grew the private sector, grew the capitalist sector. And under George W. Bush, he lost 646,000 private sector jobs. So everything that he's railing against, this idea that the government in the U.S. is becoming too big and we're too socialistic and, they're taking over. I fucking wish we had more government in the U.S. I wish we copied the Norway or Denmark or Iceland or Swedish model, the Scandinavian model, where we have a healthy amount of socialism and capitalism. But no, we're not doing that. In fact, we're running in the opposite direction. And this is why Obama should have, from day one, put up his middle finger to these guys and said, you know what, I am going to be FDR Part 2. I am going to do a New Deal. Because Obama does what these guys want, and they still act like he's doing the opposite. So might as well do the thing that they're accusing you of in the first place, because at least then people would be living in a better world.